nutrients na kasabot nyo. Okay? Ano sa tingin nyo ang gagawin ng katawan natin dun sa kinain natin? Example, okay. Dinner kayo, dinner. Pagkatapos yung mag-dinner, anong yun yung absorptive state? Ano sa tingin nyo ang gagawin ng katawan natin dun sa mga macromolecules na na-intake natin? Store. Okay, so i-store niya. Siyempre, kung nag-dinner kayo, tapos yung huli yung kain na medyo matagal pa, siyempre, ang unang gagawin ng katawan is to utilize yung kinain para saan? Para sa energy. No? So, yun yung metabolism. Ngayon, anything in excess, yun yung ini-store ng katawan natin. Okay? So, pag na-utilize ng katawan natin yung mga nutrients na yun, you call that catabolism. Pag in-store niya anything in excess, that is anabolism. Okay? So remember that. Going into metabolism. Inuna natin si lipid metabolism. Ewan ko, kasi naka-align kasi yan eh. Di ba nagka-cardio yata na kayo? So mga obesity, mga atherosclerosis yan. Kaya yan naka-align. Kaya lipid metabolism ang inuna natin. Before, carbohydrate metabolism tayo. Kasi siya yung usually siya yung unang nagpapakuha. Ito, nakita niyo na itong figure na to? So, ito yung sinend ko sa groups niyo, no? So, ayan, from carbohydrate, carbohydrate, protein fat. Nucleic acids, hindi sinabi kasi hindi naman siya directly nag-produce ng ATP. Okay, so mapapansin nyo, si fat, mag-break down to fatty acids, si protein to your amino acids, and si your carbohydrate to glucose. Okay, so yan yung digestion nyo. Now, ang end all ng different stages na to is to produce your ATP kung kailangan. Okay, so this is a general picture of your catabolism. Okay, from your stage 1, yung mga nutrients nyo, digestion into individual components, units, no? And nag-converge to your acetyl-CoA. So, kung may net kayo, gusto ko i-search nyo ang structure ng acetyl-CoA. Pero ito yung, di ba, entering the TCA cycle, di ba, 2 carbon siya. Tapos may naka-attach na OA. C-double bond CH3 plus OA. Okay? Sa biochem class ko, kahit last year, mahilig akong magpapaalala ng structure. Kasi, doon yung makikita kung anong nangyayari. Di ba each step, usually pag nagbawas ng carbon dioxide, nalabas, di ba, decarboxylation, para mapalo nyo. Okay? Si acetyl-CoA, 2 carbon siya. No? Siya ang dyan nagko-converge lahat ng mga nutrients nyo. No? So, fat to fatty acids to acetyl-CoA, carbohydrate to glucose, pero magpapainovate mo na yan through glycolysis. And then, magdi-decarboxylate to acetyl-CoA. Anyways, si acetyl-CoA, ito na yung diniscuss ni Doc siya. Citric acid cycle. Mapapansin nyo, ang main products ng TCA cycle is your carbon dioxide and your, what are these?
ATP and ADP.
Your reducing agents, no? Your NADH and FADH2. Remember, iba si NADH sa NADPH siya. Kasi nung next school din, nakakonfuse ako dyan. Pero remember, ang reducing agent natin to produce ATP is NADH and FADH. Okay, dyan napapasok si electron transport chain. In general, si electron transport chain, kung nabasa nyo na yung book, kaya siya electron transport kasi si electron napapasa-pasa sa different complexes. Okay? And in the process of passing these electrons, i-picture nyo yung electrons as mga units, no? Tapos in the process na papasa electrons, yung H plus nag-increase sa outside the inner mitochondrial membrane. Tapos later on, si H plus, siya yung gradient niya pabalik. Kasi di ba, nilalabas mo, so tendency kailangan mo ibalik. Doon sa ATP synthase. Okay, producing hormones. Okay, so that's catabolism. Anabolism is just the opposite. Pero, hindi siya exact reactions. No? Yung catabolism, essentially breakdown, anabolism, i-build niya si glucose, amino acids, and fatty acids pabalik. Pero hindi siya exactly the opposite reactions. Okay? Hindi parate. Kasi later on, sa lipid metabolism, makikita natin opposite reactions na. Okay? So, at least na-picture nyo na, remember catabolism, metabolism. Ngayon si lipids, papansin nyo, yung sa first term, di ba meron kayong lipids sa physiology significance? Doon sa figure natin, proteins is to amino acids. Diba? Very basic yun. Carbohydrates to your to your units, no? Your monosaccharides. Nucleic acids to your nucleotides. Pero si lipids, pansin nyo, hindi siya napaka-diverse ng kanyang structure. Diba? Si lipids. Pwede si fatty acids. Paano si cholesterol? Paano si sphingolipids? No? So si lipids, the group yan kasi they dissolve in non-polar solvent. Okay, so ginroup yan kasi lahat sila halos non-polar. Tapos wala silang units unlike your proteins, amino acids, and your carbohydrates. Kaya ang discussion natin sa lipid metabolism, merong fatty acid, may cholesterol, may sphingolipids. So pag makikita nyo sa outline nyo, the metabolism, ito, first part pa lang to, fatty acid pa lang yung i-discuss natin. Pero si fatty acid, siya yung pinaka-nagpo-produce ng maraming ATP. Okay, remember ha? So lipid metabolism, diverse ang lipids, medyo madami talaga siya, no? So to start, I want you to approach this lecture as the scaffold. Yung parang yun yung magiging basehan nyo how you approach studying lipid metabolism. Okay? So, just a few review. So, ito yung fatty acid natin, no? So, pansin nyo, ito yung drawing na maraming gano'n. Diba? CH3 yung carbon ni backbone. Tapos, kaya siya acid kasi may carboxylic end siya. Okay? So, picture nyo si fatty acid, chain of hydrated carbon na may carboxylic acid sa end. Okay? So, long chain carboxylic acid. Kung mahalin natin from the first term, meron yung mga saturated, unsaturated, no? So, this is just a review of the metabolism. Para at least pag nag-discuss tayo, ma-review nyo yung sa first term. So, the carboxyl number is number 1. Yun. And the carbon number 2 is referred to as the alpha carbon. So, ito yung 1 and this is the alpha carbon. Tapos, mapapansin nyo, sa beta oxidation, kaya sa beta oxidation, kasi si beta carbon. So, carbon 1, alpha carbon, and beta carbon. Okay? Ito, naalala niyo kung paano yung nomenclature? Yung ito? The number of carbon is given along the number of double bonds. So, number of carbons for your palmitate. Si palmitate kasi, siya yung end product ng anabolism. So, from acetyl-CoA to palmitate. Okay, yun yung fatty acid biosynthesis natin. Okay? So, 16 carbons, tapos 0 double bonds. Okay? Ito pala. Palmitic acid, your palmitate, is the primary end product of fatty acids. Okay? Remember yan, ha? So, ito, alam na natin to. Saturated versus unsaturated. Saturated is no double bonds. Unsaturated, may double bond siya. Okay? Ngayon, ito. Important na your fatty acids are just a component, is a component of your triglyceride. Okay? Tandaan nyo rin yan. So, ito yung triglyceride. So, tatlong fatty acid na naka-attach sa 3-carbon glycerol. Kaya siya triglyceride. Magkakaroon din tayo ng discussion on triglyceride biosynthesis. Okay? So, picture nyo, fatty acid attached to your 3-carbon sugar. That is your triglycerides. Okay? Ano ba mga sabi dito? Humans can synthesize only a few of the unsaturated. Mali-discuss naman natin yun. And, so, tandaan nyo si linolenic at si linoleic acid. So, these are essential. So, like your amino acid, meron ding essential at non-essential. Okay? Ito. Ewan ko, pero gumawa ng omega numbering sa fatty acid. So, yung yung nomenclature na C16:0. So, that's the standard. Pero meron din omega numbering system. So, ang nangyari dito, the omega describes the position of the last double bond relative to the end of the carbon chain. So, for example, for linoleic acid, meron siyang 18 carbons and 2 means dalawang double bonds. No? And 9-12 meaning sa carbon 9 and carbon 12 from the end of the fatty acid, meron siyang double bonds. So, yun, naming lang naman yun. Later on, kaya pag sinabing omega 6, so ibig sabihin 18 minus 12 equals 6. From the tip, mag-minus ka ng kung anong double bond siya, yung closest to the end, so 18 minus 12. So omega 6 siya. So pang-anim from the carboxylic end, yung carbon 12 actually. So pabalikan, no? From example, CH3, ilang kayo pag ganun, example, si family. Yan. Example, ito si C1. No? From the carboxylic end. No? So, pag magbibilang kayo, 1, 2, 3, example, si linoleic acid, sabi niya, 9 and 12. So, account kayo hanggang 12 carbon, tapos, omega 6, ibig sabihin, 6 carbons away from the carboxylic. Hanggang so yun, pabalikan siya. Ewan ko kung bakit nila na yun. Pero kasi, marirealize natin mamaya na ang katawan natin can only go as far as carbon number 9 to introduce the double bonds. Beyond that, hindi na kaya ng katawan natin. Kaya kailangan natin ng essential fatty acids from the diet. Okay? Kasi, isipin nyo, si linoleic acid, nasa carbon, meron siyang double bond sa carbon 12. So, paano siya mapoproduce ng katawan? So, essential siya. Okay? Tapos, there are some fatty acids na kinocombine ng katawan natin para ma-produce yung mga makakamang fatty acids natin. Okay? So, example ito. Ito, si arachidonic acid. 20, di ba? 20 siya. Omega 6 family siya kasi mapoproduce siya, mamaya makikita natin, from amino acids na may omega 6 double bond. Okay? So, may discussion din tayo ng arachidonic acid. So, alam nyo na, si cis, tsaka si trans. Ito, si lipid digestion. So, magkakaroon tayo ng separate discussion dito. But I want you to picture at the moment na part ng catabolism ang digestion. So coming from the mouth, pababa ng stomach, pababa ng small intestines, no? Nagkakaroon ng digestion ng fat. Remember, ang fat natin na kinakain, hindi actually fatty acid. They are in the form of cholesterol, cholesterol esters, as well as actually triglycerides. Very few lang yung fatty acid doon sa nai-intake natin. Okay? Kaya sabi ko kanina, si triglyceride, magta-travel yan sa dugo, ay si fatty acid, magta-travel yan sa dugo as your triglycerides. And again, triglycerides, tatlong chain ng fatty acid attached to your 3-carbon sugar. Okay? So, ayan. Tapos, syempre, aano nyo sila, sama si Kaya Mayroon dito. Ito. So, magkakaroon tayo ng separate discussion lang, okay? So, I just want you to remember that sa fatty acid, nagsisimula ang metabolism niya, digestion pala. Right? Now, let's go to our main topic, which is your beta oxidation and fatty acid synthesis. Okay? So, dito sa saan sa tingin ninyo ang catabolism? Beta oxidation or fatty acid synthesis? Beta oxidation. Ang build-up, synthesis, nandun na po. So, beta oxidation is the process of catabolizing your fatty acids, and your fatty acid synthesizes your fatty acids. Ano yung center molecule ulit? Acetyl-CoA. Okay? So, the breakdown of your beta oxidation produces your acetyl-CoA, and the build-up of your fatty acids comes from your acetyl-CoA. Okay? Sige. So, ito. So, excess dietary glucose can be converted, to fatty acids in the liver, and then ini-store siya. Okay? So, hindi lang galing sa lipids nyo yung fatty acids. Meron din nanggagaling sa glucose. Kaya ito yung basis ng mga diet. Diba? Alam nyo si Pinggang Pinoy, kasi nakaano yan na dapat proportion yung fruits and vegetables, yung rice is only 1/4 of the serving, 1/4 of the serving is also, ay na-discuss nyo, di ba, sa Pinggang Pinoy? Sa 1/4 is for meat and fish, and 1/2 for your fruits and vegetables. Ang Pinoy, 3/4 rice. So, yun. Kaya siya, ginano ni WHO na ilang proportion. Kasi some of your glucose from your carbohydrates na-convert din sa fat. Okay? So, yun yung build up. No? Kasi di ba, remember, carbohydrates and glycolysis nagiging acetyl-CoA. And acetyl-CoA can be used for your fatty acid synthesis. Not only will it enter the ECA cycle to produce ATP, anything in excess will be stored as your lipids. Okay? Ito pala. A metabolic process with multiple steps in which fatty acid, so napipicture nila kung anong fatty acid, are broken down to produce your ATP. As compared to your fatty acid synthesis, a series of steps in which fatty acids are produced from acetyl-CoA. Ito, breaking down into acetyl-CoA, beta oxidation, formation of fatty acids from acetyl-CoA. A catabolic process, an anabolic process. Tapos, ito, we'll go through the enzymes involved in the breakdown of fatty acid to acetyl-CoA, and also, enzyme involved in the synthesis. Okay? Tapos, ano sa tingin nyo mali dito? Parehong produce ATP. Sino sa tingin nyo yung talagang nagpo-produce ng ATP?
Beta.
Beta oxidation. Later on kasi, malalaman natin dapat ito utilizes ATP. Kasi, in the fatty acid synthesis, kailangan muna ng ATP. Parang sinacharge yung ating si acetyl-CoA bago siya maging long-chain fatty acid. Okay? Tapos, ito. Tingnan nyo, NADH and EPIC later on na to, no? Sa TCA, di ba? From acetyl-CoA, it uses NADH and FADH, and si fatty acid utilizes NADH. Releases energy in the form of ATP from your TCA and electron transport chain, oxidative phosphorylation, and uses energy naman for your fatty acid synthesis. Okay? Ito. So, itong first bullet is on your fatty acid synthesis. And your second bullet is on your beta acid. Okay? So, ini-store ng katawan yung fatty acid once it is synthesized. And during the post-absorptive state, hours after your meal, fatty acids can be released from your storage and can be used to produce your ATP. Okay? And then, alam na rin natin. Now, let's go to the first, let's go to biosynthesis. Okay, let's watch this video.
Hindi ko alam mag-compute eh. Hindi ko alam compute yun.
Ha?
Meeting na tayo. Tumigil ka na. Hobbits. Gago.
Synthesis of your fatty acids. No, of your
Ay,
proteins.
sorry.
Okay? Hindi ba?
Ba't kayo late?
Sabay sana kayo. Naliligo pa lang tayo nagsakapamakain.
So ito.
Dinaanan ka na.
So this is a good figure of your fatty acid biosynthesis. Okay? So punta tayo sa, di ba we are familiar, so magsisimula ng, ano ulit? Acetyl-CoA. Okay?
Wala sila Mark.
So, ito, inulit ko lang ulit. Excess dietary glucose can be converted to your fatty acids through production of your acetyl-CoA. No? So, mag-glycolysis yan, para mag-produce ng acetyl-CoA. Si glucose. Diba? Tapos, ayan. Anyways, si acetyl-CoA, no? Makapansin nyo dito, nagsimula siya ng pyruvate. Si pyruvate, siya yung end product ng glycolysis. Very good. Hindi ko kayo nag-glycolysis, no? Pero alam niyo na very good. So, si pyruvate, no? Sige, paano ko na ito? Dito na muna tayo, no? Ito, si acetyl-CoA. Remember, si acetyl-CoA, if this is the mitochondria, and this is your cytoplasm. Isa pa palang difference yun. Fatty acid biosynthesis occurs in the cytoplasm, whereas your beta oxidation occurs in your mitochondria. Remember, si acetyl-CoA napoproduce siya ng marami sa mitochondria. Okay? But, to be used sa fatty acid synthesis, kailangan ng transporter. And that is your citrate shuttle. Mapapansin nyo, may mga molecules na hindi makalabas, kailangan mo na siyang ma-convert to a different molecule, no, bago siya ma-shuttle. Tapos mapapansin nyo, opposite lang siya, to citrate, and then, using your acetyl-CoA, and your oxaloacetic acid o citrate, which is TCA, di ba? So, yun, lalabas si citrate to your citrate shuttle, pero marireconvert siya to acetyl-CoA. Okay? And your OA. Tapos, to bring back your acetyl-CoA in the form of pyruvate through this shuttle. Okay? But let's focus on your acetyl-CoA, no? Ang fatty acid synthesis makes use of your acetyl-CoA carboxylase and your fatty acid synthase. Okay? So, ayan, i-review naman natin yan in detail step by step. Okay? So, acetyl-CoA plus carbon dioxide will produce malonyl-CoA, and from your malonyl-CoA, no, through your fatty acid synthase, magiging palmitate. So, isipin nyo si acetyl-CoA, dala-dalawang carbon, di ba? Tapos, yung dala-dalawang carbon na yun, through your fatty acid synthase, nag-elongate lang siya. Okay? To produce your palmitate. Okay? Tapos, ang important lang dito, carbon dioxide is first utilized, no? But this carbon dioxide, lalabas din siya. Hindi siya na-incorporate sa fatty acid, no? Sa palmitate. Okay? And your NADPH, no? Actually, this comes from your HMP shunt, hexose monophosphate. Sa ano to? Sa carbohydrate metabolism. Okay? But your NADPH is used by your fatty acid synthase as a cofactor. Okay? But it's not only HMP shunt which produces your NADPH. Pati si malic enzyme also produces your NADPH. Okay, these are the two sources of your NADPH. Okay? Sige. So, insulin, okay. Insulin and glucagon. Familiar kayo kay insulin and glucagon? Si insulin, kailan siya na-produce? Mataas ang sugar. So, maraming nakain. No? Maraming available. No? So, insulin is actually the hormone which is used to store your nutrients, no? So, si insulin, ang sabi dito, insulin promotes many steps in the conversion of glucose to acetyl-CoA and finally your fatty acids. Okay? Kasi we know biosynthesis, anabolism, insulin promotes the formation of your fatty acids in the excess of glucose and eventually in excess of your acetyl-CoA. Okay? Hindi parang enough na yung energy from acetyl-CoA papunta ng TCA and your electron transfer chain. Anything in excess, insulin promotes anabolism. And these are the enzymes. Ito. Papansin nyo mga carbohydrate sa glucose, sa glycolysis siya. Okay? So, pag mataas ang glucose, pinapadami ng insulin ng acetyl-CoA both to provide ATP and to store it as fatty acids. Okay? Kasi bakit tayo nagsustorm? Para at least, pag kailangan natin ng energy, meron tayong makukuha. Especially in your fasting state and prolonged fasting state. Okay? So, also, both of the major enzymes for fatty acid synthesis, namely your acetyl-CoA carboxylase and your fatty acid synthase, are both affected by insulin. So, parang imagine niyo, si insulin, lahat pinupush niya, lahat ng enzymes, pinupush niya towards acetyl-CoA being stored as fatty acid. Okay? And after a meal, glycolysis is also stimulated naman. Okay? Kasi syempre, glucose breakdown din. Ito, nire-iterate lang natin. Citrate shuttle transports your acetyl-CoA, di ba? So, diniscuss natin ito. Again, malic enzyme. Okay, now let's go to your acetyl-CoA carboxylase. So, from the figure kanina, anong ulit ginagawa ng acetyl-CoA carboxylase? Diba siya yung reaction na yung carbon dioxide magko-combine sa acetyl-CoA, no? Sige. So, yun. So, acetyl-CoA carboxylase is a multi-enzyme protein and it contains biotin, no? And a carboxyl transferase. So, carboxyl transferase. So, carboxyl, nagka-transfer ng carboxyl group. Okay? The reaction takes place in two steps. The carboxylation of biotin involving ATP and the transfer of the carboxyl group to acetyl-CoA to form your malonyl-CoA. So, remember, synthesis kailangan ATP, di ba? Na-establish natin kanina. So, ATP, ito si acetyl-CoA, with this una, ang sabi, first step, carboxylation of the biotin, no? And the second step is the transfer. Okay? So, una, ATP, no? Biotin. Ito yung overall reaction. So, ito yung step 1. Mapapansin nyo, si biotin receive the carboxyl group. And then, the second step, the COO is transferred to your acetyl-CoA, producing your malonyl-CoA. Okay, so, carboxylation. Carboxylase siya. Kaya acetyl-CoA carboxylase. Pag nangyari na yan, papasok na si fatty acid synthase. Okay? Ito yung steps ng fatty acid synthase natin. Si fatty acid synthase ay multi-enzyme. Marami siyang subunits and multi-enzyme yun. Okay? So, papansin nyo, lahat ng mga enzymes involved in your elongation of your malonyl-CoA is in your fatty acid synthase. Okay? So, ito yung steps natin. So, nagsimula tayo dun sa, pakita nyo, malonyl-CoA from from carboxylase. So, si malonyl-CoA, mapapansin nyo, para hindi kayo mag-iwan. Yung naka-blue, yun yung pag-a-attach siya. Okay? So, papansin nyo, ito yung nag-elongate. Okay? Okay? Tapos ito, yung unang nag-receive. Alright? So, papansin nyo, so from your malonyl-CoA, di ba na-produce na si malonyl-CoA, ang kailangan ni malonyl-CoA mag-elongate. Okay, from your carboxylase reaction, kailangan mag-elongate ni malonyl-CoA. And it does that by adding another acetyl-CoA to your malonyl-CoA. Parang ganyan yung concept niya. So, mapapansin nyo, C1, ayan, from your, na-transfer na siya. Originally, ito, mapansin nyo pa SH, SH. Tapos, pare-receive yung acetyl-CoA dito. Nakita nyo? Ayan. So, from ito. Kasi papansin nyo dito, dito sa carbon, dito sa number 2, dito yung pwede nyo i-consider na nag-elongate. Okay? So, pagpasok niya doon, marireceive muna ni 1, tapos ita-transfer niya sa 2. Na-appreciate nyo? So, from 1, yung pumapasok na acetyl-CoA sa 1, papasok siya sa 2. So, nagkaroon na siya ng acyl group. So, tuloy-tuloy lang yan. Nagkakaroon ng reductase, dehydratase, removal of water, tapos reductase ulit, And eventually,
Sabi nila,
yung elongated na acyl enzyme
Hindi ko
is ready
masundan.
to receive another 2 carbon from your acetate. So, ulit-ulit lang yan. Ikot-ikot lang to form your 16 carbon palmate. Okay? So, each step, is part of your multi-enzyme. Ngayon, hindi naman ako magtatanong na yung kumbaga, at least sa fatty acid synthesis, hindi naman tinatanong each step. Basta alam nyo na fatty acid synthase is a multi-enzyme which has a series of reactions to elongate your malonate OA, adding more acetyl OA, needing ATP first prior to forming your 16 carbon palmate. Okay, so mapansin nyo, ilang reactions yan, So marami siya. Okay? So, ayan. So, ito. It contains, basahin ko na lang yan, Tapos, ayan, Diba? Acetyl CoA to valine CoA. And then eventually, through your fatty acid synthase, produces your palmate. Okay? Ngayon, paano nangyayari yung, kasi diba, sabi natin kanina, meron yung mga essential, yung mga very long na fatty acid, hindi na kayang gawin ng katawan natin, even adding your double bonds. So, meron tayong fatty acid elongase, which is your microsomal system. Ang fatty acid kasi, merong tinatawag na mitochondrial system, tsaka microsomal system, Si mitochondria, si microsome sa peroxisomes. Okay? So, hindi pa well studied ang microsomal system. Okay? Even later on you'll find out, even the beta oxidation, hindi lahat ng fatty acid pumupunta sa beta oxidation. The very long ones na fatty acid, sa peroxisome siya na-utilize. Okay? So that's fatty acid elongase. Okay? Ito yung sinasabi natin na tissues can only introduce double bond at the delta 9 position of your saturated fatty acids. Okay? And we know, kaya important ito yung sinasabi natin na yung omega-9, omega-6, saka omega-3. Omega-9 is from your oleic acid, Pansinin nyo, siya lang yung hanggang 9 lang, di ba? Yung double bond. Si linoleic acid is also on your hanggang omega-6 lang. Si alpha-linolenic, omega-3. Paano nyo na-produce yung mga ito, di ba? 24, na may 4 double bonds, Paano yan? May 5 double bonds, di ba? Which is beyond your delta 9, So, ang ginagawa is, napaproduce siya from your, kaya yung mga mahahabang fatty acid, nag-group siya, whether omega-6 family siya, omega-3 or omega-9. Yun yung important. And, papansin nyo, peroxisomes, iba siya, although beta oxidation pa rin, pero, 22,5 double bonds, which is member of your omega-6, from your linoleic acid. Okay? So, fatty acid CoA may be elongated and desaturated, meaning introduction of double bonds associated with your small endoplasmic. Okay? Some polyunsaturated fatty acids cannot be synthesized by mammals are nutritionally essential. Okay? In humans and most other mammals, arachidonic acid can be formed from your linoleic acid, your omega-6. Okay, so ito. Ano ba ito? So, ayan. So, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. No? From your COOH. Ayan. Okay? Member siya ng omega-7. Okay? Okay? Tama. So, yan. So, si oleic acid, member ng omega-9, but composed of 18 na carbons natin. Okay, so yun na yun. Kaya, itong mga to, example, si eicosapentaenoic acid, mapansin nyo, meron siyang carbon sa 17. Okay, so, ang ginagawa is, tas member siya ng omega-3. So, si omega-3, ang kanyang parent na ano is your linolenic acid. So, parang gano'n, no? So, para mag-produce a certain amino acid beyond delta-9, you use your oleic, linoleic, and linolenic acid. So, okay tayo sa fatty acid biosynthesis. So, basically, many as AOA, no? Kumbaga, kasi most of the time, pag nag-store ng kailangan ng ATP, later on, pwede mo siyang magamit to produce ATP. Okay? Now, let's go to triglyceride biosynthesis. Sabi natin kanina, ano rin si triglyceride? From your glycerol and your 3 fatty acids produces your triglyceride. Okay? Saan nanggagaling si glycerol? From glycolysis. No? So, mangyayari, so meron liver, may adipose. So, pag excess glucose, mataas si glycolysis. Marami kang available na glycerol 3-phosphate. Diba? Also, after glycolysis, there's also abundance of acetyl-CoA. So, at the same time, now you're producing fatty acids through your fatty acid synthesis and glycerol, no? Mag-store siya as triglyceride. Okay? In excess glucose. Okay? Tapos later, mga di-discuss, I think si Doc siya assign dito sa mga VLDL, HDL, yun kasi yung ways para ma-transport sa different tissues si triglycerides. Okay? So that happens in your liver, no? So for your glucose, yung glycolysis produces your DHAP, your dehydrogenase and kinase produces your glycerol 3-phosphate. This also happens in your adipose. No? Di ba naalala nyo? Small portion also fatty acid synthesis si adipose tissue. Okay? Apart dun sa dinadala ng VLDL from the liver, kasi doon talaga nagpo-produce ng triglycerides. No? Apart from that, na dinadala niya sa adipose, kaya rin mag-produce yung adipose ng triglyceride. Okay? So, triglycerides, the storage form of fatty acids. Okay? So, hindi nag-float si fatty acids, no? Nasa-store siya as your triglycerides. Okay? So, accumulation of significant triglyceride in tissues other than the adipose indicates a pathologic state. Kaya meron din tayong fatty liver disease. So, non-alcoholic fatty liver disease. No? In excess of glucose, kaya considered na metabolic or lifestyle disease ang non-alcoholic fatty liver disease. Pansin nyo, makikita nyo, karamihan ng mga ino-ultrasound, no? May fatty liver. No? Marami nang nakikita na fatty liver. Okay? Kasi nga, lifestyle disease na. Okay? Again, it comes from na dapat masusore sa adipose tissue. But since nakita nyo si liver capable din of producing your triglyceride, so hindi niya pinapasa sa VLDL to be transported, no? Nag-store din siya. So that is your NAFLD. Okay? Dalawa ang sources ng glycerol 3-phosphate. Again, from your glycolysis, no? And also phosphorylation of your glycerol by your glycerol kinase. So pwedeng G3P dehydrogenase or glycerol kinase can produce your glycerol 3-phosphate. Okay? Ito. Ito, insulin versus glucagon. So, pabalik-balik si insulin glucagon. Without reading, sino sa tingin nyo ang nagsistimulate ng formation of your ng glycerol G3P dehydrogenase sa glycerol kinase? Sino yung nagsistimulate sa kanya? Sinong hormone? Si insulin or si glucagon?
Glucagon.
Sige.
Glucagon. Si...
Ito. Nabasa niyo to? During fasting, no? Usually, pag busog, si insulin, pag gutom, si
Glucagon.
Okay? So, during fasting, no? The enzyme allows the liver, no, to trap glycerol release into the blood from lipolysis, no, for subsequent conversion to glucose. Kasi later on, ma-realize natin na si liver, hindi lang fat, actually has lahat ng metabolism, si liver talaga. So, yung mga gluconeogenesis natin, lipolysis, lipogenesis, sa liver talaga nangyayari. Okay? So, ang ginagawa niya, pag na-picture na natin yung buong metabolism, mapapansin nyo na kapag ka-fasting, nagkakaroon ka ng lipolysis, nagkakaroon ka rin ng gluconeogenesis. Okay? So, ang sinasabi dito, si glycerol 3-phosphate, substrate kasi yan for gluconeogenesis. Okay? So, parang hindi na nilalabas ng liver to triglyceride. Okay? So, ginagawa niya, nire-reserve niya si G3P sa gluconeogenesis. Okay? Para ma-produce pa rin yung enough sugar. Okay? Anyways, don't worry. Pag nakarating tayo sa metabolism of fuels, ma-i-integrate natin. Okay? But for now, ang important muna sa ngayon, triglyceride synthesis comes from your both glycolysis, no, and fatty acids, okay, which are both stimulated by your insulin. Okay, adipose tissue. Okay, any questions sa synthesis? Okay, so yeah. Now let's go to oxidation, which is the breakdown naman. Mapapansin nyo na si beta oxidation tsaka si fatty acid synthesis, sila yung halos opposite ng reactions. Okay? So what happens in your fatty acid, your beta oxidation? So nasa breakdown na tayo, okay na tayo sa synthesis. So kailan nangyayari yung breakdown? Kapag kailangan ng energy. No? Kaya mapapansin nyo, ang mga nagsistimulate ng lipid mobilization, your beta oxidation, or your breakdown, your fatty acids to your acetyl-CoA, then acetyl-CoA, PCA, is your decrease in insulin, epinephrine, and cortisol. Okay? Because the main enzyme is hormone sensitive. Okay? It is hormone sensitive. So, sino si TG din? Triglyceride. Okay? So your hormone-sensitive lipase, no? From the word lipase, di ba? Para breakdown of your lipids, no? So your triglycerides is broken down to your glycerol and your fatty acids. This occurs in your adipose tissue during fasting or prolonged fasting. Of course, si liver, doon naman kasi talaga naghahanap ang metabolism natin. So your glycerol and fatty acids will go to your liver. And this is where your beta oxidation and your gluconeogenesis occurs. All in all, no, to produce glucose and acetyl-CoA that will produce your ATP. Appreciate nyo yun? So from your storage, no, storage ng fats, kailangan ko ng energy kasi fasting ako. So yung storage ko, dapat itin ko. No? And hormone sensitive yung lipase. Okay? Sensitive siya sa insulin, epinephrine, and cortisol. Okay? So yun. So si glycerol, again, your 3-carbon is a substrate for your gluconeogenesis, which you will appreciate once we go to carbohydrate anabolism. Okay? And your fatty acids, remember, free fatty acids will undergo beta oxidation to form your acetyl-CoA. Diba? And your acetyl-CoA can either go to citric acid cycle, but in some tissues, you actually have your ketogenesis. Your acetyl-CoA, especially your brain, ang brain kasi natin, hindi siya permeable, no, to your fats, no? Tsaka, aside from that, yun nga, so it cannot cross the blood-brain barrier. Kaya, ang ginagamit ni brain is your ketones. Okay? And your ketone bodies, no? Yung mga excess na acetyl-CoA, kung ketone bodies, yun yung ketone, natin, si ketoacidosis. Okay? So, yun yung fate ng fatty acid natin, ha? So, i-form your acetyl-CoA, no? And will also produce your ketone bodies. Okay? And your acetyl-CoA, again, is your main substrate towards your citric acid cycle, again, producing your NADH and FADH2. Okay? So what happens in beta oxidation? So ito, saan to? Sa liver. Remember na yung figure? Beta oxidation happens in your liver and it is localized in your what organ? Mitochondria. Okay? As compared to your synthesis, which occurs in your cytoplasm. Eh, saan nanggagaling si saan nanggagaling si fatty acids? Di ba sa labas ng cell, ng liver? Eh, ang nangyayari, sa mitochondria nangyayari ang oxidation. So, it needs again a transporter. Okay? The same way na fatty acid synthesis utilizes your acetyl-CoA from your mitochondria, palabas ng cytoplasm, your beta oxidation also needs a shuttle from your cytoplasm to your mitochondria. Okay? So, kaya papansin nyo, and di ba remember your mitochondria, merong outer membrane at inner membrane. So, yung merong mga fatty acid that can freely enter the diffuse lab. Pero most of them would be your kasi complex to eh. 1, 2, tsaka 3. Mag-complex din yan, no? So, at the same time na na-charge yung fatty acid natin with ATP through your fatty acyl-CoA synthetase, no? And your carnitine acyl transferase, no? It will produce your fatty acid carnitine. Yun yung pumapasok through your carnitine shuttle or transporter. Okay? So, naalala nyo, di ba, beta oxidation produces ATP, no? But this step, no, may activation siya with your ATP. Okay, exemption. Okay, it will produce ATP pero kailangan niya munang magpondo bago siya mag-produce ng maraming. Okay? So after your fatty acid CoA, carnitine acyl transferase, and carnitine transporter, ma-reproduce siya to your fatty acid CoA. Okay? So fatty acid CoA is the charged form of your fatty acid. Okay? Required siya so that your fatty acid CoA dehydrogenase, no? Kaya, makikita natin yung several steps. Makita nyo, cycle siya. No? So, paulit-ulit. The same way na synthesis occurs in cycle, beta oxidation also occurs in cycle kasi unti-unti naman yung tinatanggal si acetyl-CoA from your fatty acyl-CoA. Okay? So, parang opposite lang talaga siya. No? Ayan ang multiple cycles. But ang end all niya produces your FADH2, your NADH, which will enter your ETC and oxidative phosphorylation. Also, your acetyl-CoA mismo will still go to citric acid cycle. No? So, napakaraming reducing agents na nakukuha from your fatty acid. Okay? Yan, multiple cycles. Of course, acetyl-CoA can also affect sa ketose. Okay? So ito, this is actually your beta oxidation na. Okay? Yung mga steps na yan. Okay? Okay, punta na tayo sa steps. Okay? Ito, so pansinin nyo, saan ba? Ang important sa steps ng fatty acid, beta oxidation is those that produces your NADH and FADH. So ano pa yung enzyme yun? From dehydrogenases. Diba? Most of the oxidation reduction reactions producing your reducing agents, FADH and NADH. FADH2 and NADH are dehydrogenases. Okay? So, for example, so si acyl synthase, no? Yung nagbibigay ng ATP, no? You have your carnitine shuttle, no? Tapos, papasok si acyl-CoA. Okay? Charged form of your fatty acid. Okay? So, ang unang step is your dehydrogenation, hydration, dehydrogenation, and then cleavage. Okay? Hindi na rin ako magiging very particular sa mga steps na ito, no? But ang important are, what are those that produce your reducing agents? So that is your dehydrogenation reaction. Ito. So si step 3, yung magpo-produce ng, ito rin, si acyl-CoA dehydrogenase, no? Producing your FADH2 and your beta-OH acyl-CoA dehydrogenase producing your NADH. Pakita nyo, 2 ATP tapos 3 ATP. Okay? And ano lang yan, doctors? Isang pasada lang yan ng beta oxidation. Kasi kung papansin nyo, beta acyl-CoA, ayan, with 2 carbon less. Tapos papasok ulit siya as an acyl-CoA. Tapos magpo-produce ka rin ng reducing agents producing your ATP. Okay? So, yun yung beta oxidation. So, yun yung mga members sa mga dehydrogenases. Para na-appreciate nyo, ang dehydrogenases, para hindi kayo magulo. Ang currency for electrons are your H+. No? Papansin nyo, si H yung usually nata-transfer. Example, hindi pala kasing structure. Pero papansin nyo, ayan no, si H plus yung nata-transfer sa NAD. Pansin nyo? Tapos dun sa electron transport chain nyo, si NADH, nababawasan din ng H+, pag dumaan sa complex 1. Okay. Pansin nyo, tapos si H+, nagkakaroon ng gradient. Okay? Ganun din sa mga pag-lost kayo sa mga reducing agent, oxidizing agent, no? Ang source ng electron nyo is your H. Okay? Para hindi kayo malito. Kaya pansinin natin, ayan, no? Yung H yung nadadagdag, kaya siya reducing agent kasi siya yung may potential namang reduce. Okay? Yung si Leora Jerome. Okay? So, yun. So, yun. Parang opposite lang. Kasi mapapansin nyo, sa fatty acid synthase, meron kayong needing kailangan ng mga hydrogen acceptors naman. Okay? To your fatty acid synthesis. Okay? Compare nyo. Okay? So, opposites. Diba? Ayan, beta oxidation reverses the formation of fatty acid synthesis by oxidation, loss of electron, oxidation, rather than reduction and releasing rather than linking of your acid. And the pathway is a repetition of your forces. Okay? This is just a reiteration of NADH2 and NADH are oxidized in the electron transport chain providing ATP. In muscle, citric acid cycle, no? In the liver, gluconeogenesis pa rin. In a fasting state, sabihin nyo na lang yan, para ma-integrate nyo. Example, fasting state. The liver produces more acetyl-CoA from beta oxidation that is used in the citric acid cycle. Okay? So, meron tayong mga deficiencies, no? Your MCAT deficiency, and later on, basahin na lang. But, ang important is your propionic acid pathway. Okay? Kasi, naalala nyo, 2 carbons yung napaproduce natin sa beta oxidation. Kung even numbered siya, by 2s, hindi kompleto. Paano pag-add number? So, may extra carbon ka na odd. Example, ang example niya, ito. 1, 2, 3, 4 carbons OA. Diba? Napapasok ng beta oxidation. Ito, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 OA. Pansin nyo? Paano ngayon, may extra carbon ka? Diba? Siyempre, very specific yung mga enzymes natin to remove 2 carbons. So, ang ginagawa, for odd number fatty acid, it will be converted to your succinyl-CoA. Okay, yun na. May alternative pathway for odd number fatty acids. Okay? So, ang important naman dito, yun nga, kung ano yung final product, ganun din sa citric acid cycle pa rin siya kapasok. Okay, so hindi naman siya ma-release. Diba? And citric acid cycle also produces your reducing agents. Okay? So, si vitamin B12, ano lang yun, kailangan si methylmalonyl-CoA, kailangan niya ng vitamin B12. May mga ganyan pero yung mga deficiencies natin, no, very valid ang kanyang mga manifestation depending on which enzyme uses that particular cofactor. Okay? So, pag may vitamin B12 deficiency ka, sinasabi lang na hindi ma-utilize yung propionic acid. Okay? And kung kasi magkakaroon ka ng maraming methylmalonyl-CoA, magpaproduce ka ng methylmalonyl.
Walang
Isa kasi sa test for vitamin B12 deficiency is your presence of your methylmalonyl acid. Kasi magkakaroon si B12 at si B9 deficiency. Si Oli. So ito, isa sa test to, para ma-differentiate ko yung pareho kasi silang nag-produce ng anemia, pareho silang nag-produce ng mga paresthesia, no? Kasi again, because of your fats or your lipid utilization. Hindi na i-utilize ng mga. Okay? Now let's go to ketone body. So ang isang phase after beta oxidation, anong nangyayari? Acetyl-CoA goes to your PCA. An alternative, pag sobrang dami na, ketone body, ketogenesis. Okay? So yan, kaya part pa rin ng fatty acid metabolism ang ketone body metabolism. Okay? Kasi after your beta oxidation, hindi naman, kung papasok siya ng acetyl-CoA, hindi naman lahat acetyl-CoA kapag sobrang rising. Meron din pumupunta as ketone body. Okay? So, meron kasi yung mga tissues na mas nai-utilize si ketones. Okay? For example, ito, para lang makita nyo na ang ketone bodies natin are your acetoacetate, 3-hydroxybutyrate, and your acetone. Okay, tatlo yan. No? Tapos, saan organ to? Sa liver. Okay? So, you have your mag-HMG-CoA muna siya, synthase from your acetyl-CoA, lipase to form your acetoacetate, and then eventually your hydroxybutyrate, acetone, and your acetoacetate. Okay? Okay. Tapos mapapansin nyo, ano yung, eventually, your ketone bodies, no, will form your acetyl-CoA, which will enter your citric acid cycle. So may mga organs such as your muscle, your renal cortex, and your brain during prolonged fasting na ang in-utilize nila yung ketones natin. Okay? So meron tayong tinatawag na ketoacidosis, no? Nangyayari naman to sa mga, usually sa mga type 1 diabetes mellitus. Okay? So, ang type 1 diabetes mellitus, sobrang taas ng sugar sa katawan. Pero, hindi na po-produce ng insulin. So, ano sa tingin niyo yung nangyari? Kung mababa si insulin, di ba si insulin gustong mag-store? Eh, hindi niya nasisignal yung mga organs natin to store that insulin. So, ang nangyayari, sobrang tuloy-tuloy pa rin yung pag-produce ng acetyl-CoA. Hindi towards your beta-oxidase. Yung fatty acid na may beta-oxidase pa rin. So again, kasi walang signal na mataas na yung sugar sa blood. Kasi dapat, di ba, pag mataas ang sugar sa blood, gusto natin i-store. Di ba? So, fatty acid synthesis. But in your type 1 diabetes mellitus, walang insulin to signal your organs, especially the liver, to store your sugar as fatty acids, as fats. No? So ang tendency ni liver, gluconeogenesis pa rin siya, no? Beta oxidation pa rin siya. And both of these will result to accumulated acetyl-CoA. So that happens in your ketoacidosis. And we know that apart from the citric acid cycle, your acetyl-CoA will enter your ketogenesis. Okay, na-appreciate nyo yun? So, walang signal sa organs na mag-store na. Kasi nga, your type 1 DM, your pancreas, your insulin-producing cells are non-functional. Okay, so walang signal. So in effect, tataas sila ketone bodies. No? The excess acetylcholine from your continuous beta oxidation. Pansinin nyo yung mga type 1B and then usually mga payat things. Okay? So, lahat nil-utilize nila. No? Kaya ang type 2 diabetes naman, insulin resistance. So, ganun din. Not enough insulin to stop the beta oxidation. And even glycolysis pa. Hindi lang beta oxidation. So, lalo na si liver nyo, glycolysis ng glycolysis, gluconeogenesis ng gluconeogenesis, beta oxidation ng beta oxidation. And in effect, tumataas si acid glucose. Okay? And ketoacidosis, because these are acidic in nature. Okay? So, yun yung nangyayari sa ketogenesis. Ketogenesis is the formation, or as your ketolysis is the conversion of your ketone bodies to your aspirin. Okay? Acetone. Major pathways. Ito, during the brain. Glucose derived from the liver, 12 hours, no? But after which ketone bodies na yung pinanggagalingan ng energy. Okay? Ayan, so, nangyayari sa brain, no? When ketones are metabolized to acetylcholine, di ba? From ketolysis, pyruvate dehydrogenases, glycolysis, and subsequently glucose uptake in brain decreases. This important switch steers the body protein na nagiging gluconeogenesis. So kasi pag prolonged fast, sobrang kailangan ng brain ng sugar, in the form of glucose. Pero kasi, during prolonged fasting, ma-appreciate natin na gluconeogenesis na yung ginagamit ng liver natin to provide supposedly glucose for your brain. Pero dahil si brain ginagamit na sa ketone bodies, hindi niya na kailangan yung gluconeogenesis from the liver. Okay? And yung source ng carbon atoms for your gluconeogenesis actually comes from your amino acids, coming from the breakdown of proteins. Okay, so later on yun, mas ma-appreciate natin yun pag na-integrate na natin naman yung amino acid, protein metabolism. At least ngayon, natatouch na natin ang konti, si carbohydrate metabolism. Okay? So, ayan, tapos na. So, ano ba siya? Kaya pa ba natin yung cholesterol? Gusto nyo ba? Ay, hindi. Ano pala tayo? Ratio. So, ratio na muna. So, ang plan, ito, okay na tayo sa fatty acid. Pero makikita nyo sa syllabus, meron tayong cholesterol.